Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. So I'm in Local Falcon for my own business. I search for the keyword SEO. I'm on page one of Google 80% of the time. This is the heat map. So dots one, two, and three, the dark green ones, they represent you're on page one of Google when someone searches for SEO or SEO near me, SEO company, etc. Each of these dots is actually zero point 0.8 miles away from each other, which is really important because if you make your radius too far, you could be 4 miles in between each dot. You're going to be missing out on a lot of towns and cities. So in this video, I want to just kind of explain what I've been doing with my business, why it's ranking pretty well, because it's the same thought process for my clients, but obviously I can't really demo off their profiles. So I have to sort of show mine here. So let's go to view competitor report. The top listing here is Saratoga Digital Marketing. They're at a 92%. If you round up, I'm at an 80%. They're doing better than me, but I'm in the top two. So that's pretty good. Let's go to compare locations and compare them to TM Blast. I do this for all my clients, especially the new ones, when I really have to understand kind of what I'm onboarding. But there's two things that stand out to me. Number one, Saratoga Digital Marketing is located directly on Broadway, or actually, well, right off Broadway, which is in downtown Saratoga Springs. That is a major ranking factor. So if you're looking to rank better in your city, and let's say I'll make up a location. Let's pretend you're in, I don't know. Let's say you want to be in Atlanta, Georgia, but you're, 5 or 6 miles outside of it. But to be in Atlanta, you really want to rank, then I recommend getting a physical location in downtown Atlanta if you're looking to rank there. Location is a major ranking factor. It goes without saying, too, having a physical location will outrank a service area of business almost every time. Number two is the phone number. Saratoga Digital has a 518. That's the local area code in the Albany, New York, Saratoga region. I don't. I have an 877. That's because that number is a grasshopper number, and I've had that since I think 2017, so ever since I launched my business. And yeah, I could change my number. For my business, I don't see it as a big difference, but if I was a roofing company, or if I was like very hyper local, which TM Blast is not, because I work with clients all across the United States, and even sometimes Canada too. But if I was hyper local with my business, I would actually get a second phone number that had 518, because it's a slight ranking factor. It gives a little bit more credibility to your business and can help influence more clicks. Of course, reviews matter, categories matter. They're using marketing agency. Mine's internet marketing service as the primary, I believe. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Mine is marketing agency as well. So we're both doing the same thing. All right. So we know from the compare two things. Obviously, they have the downtown location and they have the 518. I have the 877. Okay. So those are really easy gaps. Next, what I do for my clients is let's go to the services section. So you see here, I have a lot of services I need to go through. But what I did was I wrote a bunch of services for the locations that I really wanted to rank in. So Saratoga Springs, Clifton Park, Boston Spa, Glens Falls. So what I recommend is that, let's pretend you are I don't know, a personal injury attorney. You can maybe mention, if you're in Boston, Massachusetts, you can say Boston, and then you could say things like Charlestown, Brighton, Brookline, Roxbury, JP, etc. So you can get really specific into all the towns and the boroughs around just simply Boston. You can write a small description, 300 characters for each, as a slight ranking factor. And I think that would be a pretty good first step. Next, what I do is I have a product listing carousel over here. I do this because it's visual. So I think it's good because it makes my profile a little bit bigger. So I recommend that. Next, I talk about this on almost every video that I've done, but Trustindex.io, that's my preferred ranking review platform, because it brings in your reviews from Google Business Profile, but also Facebook, Yelp, Google Play Store, Apple Play Store, etc. It's very affordable, so I always recommend that. You can see it's actually even featured here. I can click into it. It's usually always featured on Google and Bing. Whenever you search for a brand search for TM Blast, you're going to always find Trustindex as well, which is great. Plus, what I like about this is that it will show my business location. As you can see down here, HQ address has the map. And if I go back into my business profile, you can see reviews from the web. They mention Trustindex as well. So this is really, reviews are a ranking factor. And the best part is that it's just going to bring in your reviews directly from Google. There's no additional work you need to do. But of course, you want to diversify your reviews as much as possible. Okay, so last but not least, updates on your profile are important. I've been slacking, I'll be frank. I haven't been updating my own profile, mainly because I've been taking on different projects and I've been focused more on them. But what I recommend to all my clients, try to post at least once a week on your Google business profile, and try to keep it fresh and active. It's a slight ranking factor, but if it improves the dwell time and engagement, those are ranking factors for Google for sure. Okay, let's go to the website and let's talk a little bit about what I do. So scroll all the way down here. I put in my address at the very bottom in the footer, have my phone number, email address, and then also my Google business profile. I have my social links there, but the Google business profile is really important because it's going to be on every single page. It really creates that connection between my website and also my Google business profile. So it kind of says this is where the address is. It is a ranking factor. Okay, next, what I think is important too. Let me go up to the very top. I have a services section. So you see here, there's drop down. So I have Google Ads Management, Bing Ads. I have local SEO with all these different niches I've worked with in the past. These are important to have. You really need to have a dedicated landing page for each of the services you want to provide. So I see this a lot. I have several clients, but what they'll do usually is that they'll put in a lot of things on their Google business profile, but without a dedicated landing page that really connects that, Google's like looking at what you're providing and saying, I don't know exactly if you do provide this because you don't mention that on your website. So having a dedicated landing page that's clear about that particular service really will help you with your rankings because it creates that connection. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. All right. Last but not least, because I'm losing my voice, reviews are a big ranking factor, but you can take it a step further by having a reviews page on your website. So what I do is I use Trustindex and I embed my widget directly onto my page. So when you go to, let's go to this over here, TM Blast reviews, hit enter. You're going to get a Google AI overview that pops up. And this is actually taking information directly from trustindex.io. And there's an AI summary, and you can see I have my reviews page, but I also have a Trustindex page as well. I think that's really important because when people are, potentially going to contact multiple companies for, let's say, like a kitchen remodeling project or an attorney, they're going to do a follow-up, which is brand search plus reviews. I think having this gives more credibility. It helps with brand search, which I think is a ranking factor as well for Google Business Profile. And then if they see this and they visit your website again, I think it's that positive connection where Google's like, okay, they discovered us maybe from a non-brand search. Then they did a branded search. Then they did the branded search plus reviews. And then ultimately they visit the website. And, if you're using Chrome, that could be tracked better. But the point, though, is that I think all those kind of factors play a really large role when it comes to your ranking. So let's go all the way back to, I think it's this tab, right? Yeah. Just the term SEO. So SEO can mean things like SEO company, SEO, services near me, SEO, just etc. I can see this 80% of the time my business is on page one. It's how I get some reviews, or how I get some leads for my local clientele out here. But for my business, I work with clients across the United States and sometimes even Canada too. So it doesn't really matter to me, but I demoed this off because, again, if you are an HVAC client that is hyper focused on a specific area, this is what you want your map to look like. You want to be able to flip more dots so you get more impressions for your business and able to get more phone calls, more leads, and more form fills. But anyway, I hope this video maybe sparked some ideas what you can do for your business. Let me know if you have any questions, and as always, have a good rest of your day.